What's up, my beautiful entrepreneurs? All right, so we're making our body butter, but we're not realizing that sometimes there's certain ingredients that we're using that could change the overall texture and consistency of our overall product. When it comes to coconut oil, that is a big factor in overall consistency and texture. And I want to break down fractionated coconut oil versus unfractionated coconut oil. And we're going to level up your body butter recipe to make sure that your formula is consistent and has the perfect texture every single time, no matter if it's winter or summer. Let's get right into the video. When you're making your products, you always want it to be consistent. That's what your customers are looking for, and that's what you should always strive for. And unfortunately, with unfractionated coconut oil, it can be really inconsistent when it comes to your formulation. And I was watching another video, and a girl was also explaining how she didn't like coconut oil for this exact reason, and it makes a lot of sense. At first I didn't understand, but when you start making your body butters, I realized that I would make the body butter and it'll be at room temperature, it'll be nice, soft, and fluffy, but then as it would cool down, it would get harder, and even in the winter time, it would get harder. You can see the change in your formula as the day goes on, as the weather changes. So you want to take all of that into consideration. Like when you are buying your products from anywhere, you are always seeing that what you're getting is consistent. You buy your Shea Moisture, you buy from Dove, you buy from anywhere, and you know what it smells like, what it looks like, how it's going to feel, how it's going to make you feel, and you continue to buy because of that. And you want your customers to do the exact same. What I went ahead and did was make a formula where I used one with unfractionated coconut oil and the other with fractionated coconut oil to see how the consistency would change, and I left the room at room temperature so that we could see exactly how room temperature would cause a difference in the coconut oil. Now with the unfractionated coconut oil, it was still a little solidified, but it wasn't completely cooled down, so it didn't have like the super firmness to it. But as I felt the unfractionated coconut oil formula, I could tell that it was still a lot more solid as overall product, and it was kind of like moving around in the dish, so it wasn't actually staying in place and it wasn't as soft. But when I substituted that for the fractionated coconut oil in the other formula, I realized that it was a lot softer and it still had like that nice soft consistency. Now when it comes to that, and you still want to have a little bit of firmness to the formula, I would suggest to substitute the coconut oil for about 10% of shea butter so that you can still have that overall firmness that the coconut oil would have brought, but it's still consistent with the coconut oil and you get that firmness from shea butter. Okay, so now you're wondering, where can I use this? How can I use this in my formulations and for my products? Well, it's really about what texture are you looking for, especially when it comes to body scrubs, for example. When you have a sugar scrub, if you're making a body butter based sugar scrub, you may have a more thicker consistency, so you can get away with using unfractionated coconut oil so that you can have the more firm consistency and it'll be more of a thick sugar scrub. It may be a little bit tougher to manipulate and to rub on your skin, but it's a really good moisturizing sugar scrub, and it's going to be a little bit of a rougher exfoliator. But then you can also use fractionated coconut oil for a sugar scrub and have a more light, fluffy, like more of like a liquidy sugar scrub that will be great for sensitive skin. You can also use this for lip scrubs, or you can use it for a more gentle body scrub. And you can firm it up a little bit as well by adding some of the unfractionated coconut oil or adding in shea butter to help firm it up, because it does get a little liquidy just having it by itself with the fractionated coconut oil, but it allows for it to stay in that same stable condition and have that liquidy feel and that soft, luscious feel that you see with a lot of sugar scrubs. So the reason why I say that you can use unfractionated coconut oil and fractionated coconut oil together in small amounts is because coconut oil in its natural state is comprised of two fatty acids. So you have your long chain fatty acids and medium chain fatty acids. When they are separated, you have your medium chain fatty acids, which is comprised of fractionated coconut oil. So that helps for it to stay in its liquid state. And the long chain fatty acids along with the medium chain fatty acids allows it to stay in its natural solid state. So, and it's both of them are comprised of all of those fatty acids that are kind of in different ranges of how much is in each batch. So it can differ depending on which one that you have. So, and I say this because when you have like one set of coconut oil, I have one that I got from the grocery store, and right now it's a little still liquefied, but it still has a little bit of solidness to it, and there's little pieces left. But then I also have another unfractionated coconut oil that I have in my closet that I got from a bulk company, and that one is still solid. And coconut oil can change. You can get one that is 76 degrees melting point or a 90-degree melting point. So it can change depending on which one that you buy, and that can really change your overall formula. So that brings me into using it for body oil. Now, it may be a no-brainer to think, of course, you just use fractionated coconut oil and body oil, but it wouldn't be it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to think that you can get unfractionated coconut oil, melt it down, and add it with other oils to make a body oil. But if you do that, you're going to cause maybe like a cloudy look to your body oil, and it won't be like nice and clear and nice in the bottle. And if you're going to add unfractionated coconut oil, I would recommend that you add it in at a really, really small percent. So I'm saying like 5, maybe 10%, but that would be pushing it. So I would say 5% in your formula, because then it won't change as much, because it has all the other oily components that are in there that won't change the overall texture of the body oil. But if you add way too much, and I'm saying like if you have like 20 to 30% of the unfractionated coconut oil, you're gonna get a really cloudy product. It's not gonna look good. And then think about the summertime or the winter time. If it's the winter time and they have the product, then that unfractionated coconut oil is going to firm up. They're not gonna be able to use the product. It's gonna be really hard. They won't be able to get it out of the squeeze bottle or the drip bottle that you are using for your product, and they're not getting the same thing that they may have seen online. And you have to think about when you are online and you're looking at other products, or when you're advertising, people are buying these products because they are seeing something that they want. And if they're looking at the product and they're seeing a nice luscious body butter, or a nice creamy luscious body scrub, or a nice lightweight body oil, and then that happens to their product when they get it, or as they have it over time, they're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be either. So that's why I always say you have to make sure that you have consistency in your product, and make sure that you are making products that are consistent all the way around, so that people are getting the same product every single time. To be honest with you, I made this video because I realized when I was looking at other bigger brands and looking at their ingredients list, I realized that they were using fractionated coconut oil and not unfractionated coconut oil in their products. And the reason for this is because it creates consistency in their product and allows for it to have consistency and not change from, temperature to temperature, or, climate to climate. And you really want to have that consistency throughout. And that's like one of the biggest things that I say throughout this whole entire video, is that you always want consistency, because you want people to always want to buy your product and get the same thing every single time. And I am really striving to make sure that my products are coming out, consistently for my customers, and really leveling up my formulations and making a product that I can really be proud of and that people will constantly come back to and love. And if that's your overall goal, then you're in the right place. I want to start making more videos like this, because I really want to find more ingredients that I can use that will help to stabilize my product, make it better, really level it up and make it next level. And I really want to do that with you guys. So join me on this journey of making our products so much better. One thing about coconut oil is that sometimes it can make your products greasier, especially when it comes to your body butter. So I would definitely watch this next video here, where I discuss 4 levels of degreasing your body butter so you can have a more consistent, lovely product.